Welcome back, everyone, to the Workers' Mic right here on 720 WGN.
In a world where corporate spin dominates the airwaves, one show is dialing into something real. The voice of the workers, loud and clear.
We're at the WGN studios for the Workers' Mic, which is a radio show that's on every Sunday. It's just a way for labor to get word out of what's going on.
A few years ago, I had an idea to do a one-day special on Labor Day. I felt it necessary to talk about Chicago's influence on the international labor movement, as Chicago is a labor town.
They called me and said, hey, would you like to sponsor or be a part of a panel for a show that was airing on Labor Day?
I got in touch with Ken Edwards, who's the director of the National Coalition of Labor. We met for coffee, and anybody that knows Ken knows he's quite the personality, and he's a great communicator.
They offered me a show, and that's how it started. I immediately called my former coworker, Ed Maher.
I'm one of the co-hosts on the Workers' Mic, and I think the Workers' Mic is here to fill a void of sort of information about unions.
The show was given a 1-hour time slot on Sundays at 8 a.m. Ratings have grown exponentially since its 2022 debut, and now the show competes for the highest listenership in its market. If you're not an early bird, no worries. You can catch the replay anytime as a downloadable podcast.
As we got bigger, we called Phil Davidson from the Carpenters.
My boss at the time said we can talk about unions in general and just the labor movement. We can also talk about all the cool and important work that we're doing for our members and for the working class.
The Workers' Mic is proudly powered by the people who get the job done. Sponsored in part by the National Coalition of Labor, which provides supplemental benefits to card-carrying union members, including the Mid-American Carpenters Regional Council. Because when it comes to building a stronger workforce, these folks bring the tools and the talent.
We give listeners a perspective of what the working class is up to and the issues that we care about, the fights that we battle on a daily basis.
On the Workers' Mic, no topics are off the table, from practical tips like how workers can make the most of their hard-earned benefits to big, bold conversations that go deep, like today's episode where the guys and their guests took on the hot-button issue of construction industry tax fraud head-on.
What are we saying when we talk about tax fraud?
Under the table wages.
Illegal construction.
There's $25 billion that should be paid into workman's comp carriers for workman's comp in this country.
25 billion.
Billion.
Today's show is about tax fraud. And tax fraud is something that we've dealt with for years.
If there is this alleged 1099 guy or comp, what happens when they get hurt?
They could, lose everything. And it costs money for everyone because there's no income tax being paid. It's millions and millions of dollars a year that is lost because of this.
Covering important topics like this is how the Workers' Mic keeps turning up the volume and building a loyal audience of workers who know their voice matters. This isn't just talk radio. It's the voice of workers, loud and clear from job site to job site.
Having been a member, it gives you a credibility that just can't be replaced by anything.
There was such a thirst in this market for this type of content, and we're seeing that. Emails and text, and when we do segments where we ask listeners to call in, the response is overwhelming.
It's fun, it's educational. The guys really do a great job at really explaining everything to somebody who isn't in the union.
Whatever you do, you've had challenges at work. We talk about things on the show that rank and file union members can relate to.
We're not going to pull any punches. I'm sure there's some things we say that, some advertisers might not be all that thrilled about, but we've never been told of, hey, pull back on that or anything.
Sure, the Workers' Mic tackles the tough stuff, but don't let that fool you. This on-air crew loves what they do, and they bring the fun every time they fire up the mic. Tune in and you'll hear it. Passion, purpose, and plenty of personality. Straight from the airwaves to the job site.
We took call-ins. You guys hear the question, how do you guys like working with Phil Davidson? I'm like, that's why you called?
She comes in 10 minutes later, she's like, that was Phil. I was like, what?
You could probably just take all that out.
It is a good feeling to be able to get the word out there to the public about, who we are, what we do, and what we can do to help.
Ken Edwards and Ed Maher, they are as knowledgeable of union guys as you will find. and I think, they're also very entertaining, so we have a good time on the show.
The show affords us the ability to let union members and also non-union members know what's important and what's going on.
We're just having a great time doing this, and to know that people are listening and getting something out of it, it's wonderful. It makes you feel really great.
Cool.
That was awesome, Mike.
Yeah.
We will be back with more Workers' Mic on 720 WGN.